She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Can we go through those priorities again? What is your life? What's number one? Which includes what? Spirit, emotional, mental, physical, and financial, right? Number two. Number three. Number four. Family, it's your extended family. Number five. Yeah, provision. And is it just provision of money? No. What else is it provision for? Say what? It's an opportunity to train up your children in the work category. It's an opportunity to impart your wisdom and your skill set into your children, because you're not going to have another time to do that. Do you understand? When are you going to do it? You think that when they turn 18, they're going to be like asking you for job advice? Probably not. Someone's laughing hard. Right? I mean, do you actually think that when they turn 18 they become adults that they're going to seek you to train them on all of the skills that you've had to learn and develop through the years? No. You put them in front of some professor who doesn't share your values instead. This is going to fill their head with knowledge and not teach them how to apply it or use it. Right? So anyway, so it's important to use your work as a platform to install into the next generation the value of work, how to work, the attitude concerning work, developing them in different skills. I have to tell you, can I just tell you how much I love my husband? And I only have a day and a half before I see him. 2 days before I see him. We, at the last Shabbat at our house, we had all our some of our grandkids over. And my second to third youngest grandson is named Harvey, and he looks exactly like my son Roman. It's the weird, genetics are strange, but he does. Like, you can look at two pictures of Roman and Harvey, and it looks like the same kid, just like you can look at pictures of my brother and Roman, and they look like the same person as well. So just genetics are awesome. Anyway, so my little grandson, Harvey, he just turned 6, and he apparently is like the mathematician in his kindergarten class, right? And so his teacher's completely blown away. They have him doing second grade math right now. He just spits math out in his head like it's nothing, right? So I tell Pops, Hans, this. We're at the dinner table. I'm like, hey, honey, Pops, Harvey apparently is like, he's the first one to get his math done. He just spits it out like it's nothing. They're giving him second grade math, and he's burning through that. He probably is like third grade level math right now, because the second grade math is not a challenge to him. And he was 5 years old, right? He just turned 6. So anyway, so Pops goes, okay, awesome job, man. Okay, Harvey, listen. What is 2 plus minus 3? And I elbow Hans. I'm like, dude, that is not second grade math. He goes, dude, don't limit him. So Harvey goes, 5. He goes, no, think about it, Harvey. Think about it. 2 plus minus 3. So he's working it through, and then now he's guessing. So I cheat. So anyway, so Hans keeps working him through those kinds of problems, and guess what? He gets it. He got it. So who was I to say, well, that's 7th grade, and that's the stuff that confused the snot out of me. 2 plus negative 3, like, how do you plus negative? Right? I mean, I was constipated instantly when I heard those kind of math problems. Did that happen to anyone else? I know I'm not the only person that constipated. Okay, thank God. All right. So work, the reason why I'm talking about that is that we adults often limit our children's ability because our society says they're not ready for that kind of math. Do you understand? So we limit them. We limit them in their understanding spiritually. We limit them in their understanding work-wise. But you'd be amazed, you have children that'll make better entrepreneurs than you. And why? Because they understand simple concepts and you complicate them. Where they don't complicate simple concepts. You complicate the simple concepts. They go, oh, you want me to do that? Done, I'll go do it. Like, go knock on doors and see who wants their dog walked. Done. Do you want your dog walked? But you tell an adult to do that, and what do? Oh, what do I say? What if they say no? I'm so embarrassed. What are they going to think? Every kid is a 2%er. You're the one that screws them up. Every kid is a 2%er. You're the one that screws them up. You're the one that limits them with your own limited beliefs. You're the one that creates the crooked path in front of them. You're the one that has them think of things they don't need to be thinking about. Kids take action. The parents bring their past failures and hurts into the equation and try to shield their kids from success. So work is provision, not just for today, but it's also training provision into the next generation. Number 6. Fun and adventure. This is a very important thing for your children to see you do. It is a very important thing for your children to see you do, is to be adventurous and to have fun. Why? Most of your kids don't want to grow up, and the reason why they're still playing video games at 25 is because they don't want to grow up and be like you. They don't want to carry the weight on their face like you do. They don't want to get married because they don't want your marriage. They don't want to get a job because they don't want your life. So, fun and adventure, you see, we've made our whole lives about work. It's not about work. So when you have a complete life, fun adventure is part of the completion of that life. And so if you're not doing this, you're not living. And if you're waiting to do this until you're financially independent, you're going to die and not have fun. And why? Because the only reason why you're not financially independent isn't because you don't make enough money. The reason, did you hear what I said? The only reason you're not financially independent has nothing to do with your money. It's what you've done with your money. It's where you've put the money. These millennials will be wealthier faster than the ones that are older than them. They will, if they follow directions. They have the capacity to follow directions. They have the capacity not to complicate things. Their biggest distraction is you. Their biggest distraction is you. Your attitude about work, your attitude about marriage, your attitude about parenting, your attitude about politics, your attitude about God, your attitude about your health, your attitude about your future, your attitude about fun. Those are the things that are stopping your kids from being successful. So you might want to step up quick and get into that 2% mindset for the sake of the next generation. I'm almost tempted to put the millennials on the spot. I know what they'll do. They're going to go, I agree. How many of you millennials totally agree with what everything I just said? There you go. There you go. They do. So what happened? Mom and dad got off track. They made things too serious. They lost the 2% that was already born into them. That's what happened. And guess what? What does that show you millennials? The same will happen to you if you don't watch yourself. The same will happen to you if you don't watch yourself. Your parents said, I don't want to be like my parents, and then they became them. It's true. They were just like you, where they said, I don't want to do what my parents did, and then they became it. They did. Why? They lost their way. They lost their way. They didn't have some wench on a stage screaming at them about getting their life on track. Some of them didn't pay attention too. Number 7, there are several of my friends that have been coming for years and like, yeah, that's great. Some of them are just now starting to pay attention. Okay, number 7, charity. How many of you millennials know that must be a part of your life? right? What are you laughing at? I'm not a millennial. Oh, she was an old woman who raised her hand? No, I'm kidding. Okay, that's something that the millennials know. They know that their life cannot just be about themselves. They do not like that they were sacrificed for a bigger house, for nicer cars, and shopping at the malls. They do not like that. They've looked at the money and gone, what is this all about? What is it all for? No freaking thank you. I don't want that life. I don't want the pressure. I don't want the stuff. They're stressed out managing their crap. They've got storage units filled with crap. They're wasting food every single day. No thank you. Everyone's in their own bedrooms on their devices. There's no relationship here. I want nothing to do with money. Millennials, do you agree? Where's the millennials that agree with this? Okay, there you go. So charity, why? We were wired for charity. It's part of our mandate to take care of other people who cannot take care of themselves. That's our job. Number 8, legacy. And the millennials are big on this right here. They're big on changing the world. Really big on changing the world. And they'll go do it without you. They will. They'll actually do it in a vengeance. They will. They will. They're similar to the 60s generation. Very similar to the 60s. Now, hopefully they don't just go naked and do a lot of drugs and have sex with everybody, because that's what our parents did, right? Our parents were those people, so then we got really serious about our lives. We wanted to make sure and have some structure and a foundation, and we wanted to succeed, right? We are the response to that 60 generation. The millennials, again, my generation swung too far, got too serious, too driven, chased money, chased opportunity, chased fame, chased fortune, and our kids are like, have fun, no thanks. So fortunately, my kids have not done any of that, praise God. Why? Because did we not do this, Micah? Did we not work hard to make these things a part of our life? Yes. This is how we've lived. Mom has to work the hardest on that one. But fortunately, I have a husband who's wild. So he helps in this department. He is Mr. Spontaneous, and Dani is not at all. So this is a challenge for Mom. And I just breathe a lot. Okay, let's go. Okay, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, so we're going to keep this in mind as we work through increasing your value. Okay, we're going to increase value today. This is our job today. Never losing focus of these 8 things, okay? These 8 things are very important to keep in the right prioritized order. This is the order. When you have work at the top priority, everything else crumbles. It's like taking a pyramid and putting it upside down. What's going to happen if you have a pyramid upside down? It's going to tip or it's going to crumble, right? So your foundation needs to be strong, starting with this spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. I almost don't want to put financial in there because some of you will make that your higher priority. But health, and when I say healthy financially, that means contentment financially. That means wise with the little financially. Do you understand? So we're going to take these concepts that you learned yesterday, all the character, the arrogance versus humility. We're going to take the financial of prosper where you're planted and faithful with the little, right? So ordering too much food and throwing part of it away is foolish or wise? Foolish, okay? Living in a house that's much bigger than you need is foolish or wise? Foolish. Driving an expensive car and financing it is foolish, okay? Wearing expensive clothes that you do not need is foolish, okay? Buying another pair of shoes when you already have too many is foolish. Not investing in yourself is foolish. Not learning new skills is foolish. Learning new skills is. Do you understand? So, how do we take what we learned yesterday and apply it to our work life? We're going to predominantly focus on marriage, parenting, family, and work right now, okay?
Financing a home can be a nightmare if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Ask me. I know this. That's why the first thing you have to do is find a mortgage company you can trust that has your back through the entire process. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading your current one, or looking for an investment property, Rick Fujisaki at Wintrust Mortgage wants to win your trust. Rick understands the mortgage industry, and he can take all the stress out of financing a home for you. His easy-to-use worksheets will help you calculate the mortgage you can afford. And he has a unique tool designed to help you find and set aside money for your down payment. And when you work with Rick, who, by the way, I love, a portion goes to caring for the poor through King's Ransom Foundation. So visit loanmortgageguys.com and start building your dream today. Again, contact Rick at loanmortgageguys.com. Have you ever wondered if your investments are making enough money for retirement? What if you could buy an investment rental property for as little as $35,000 that rents for at least $550 a month? After Aaron and Drew Hudson asked themselves this question, Hudson Real Estate Investments was formed, and now 200 transactions have been conducted. Their system helps individuals buy and hold real estate. Their definition of a great buy and hold is a property that pays you a monthly positive cash flow from day one. Hudson Real Estate Investments has a team who find properties available for immediate purchase, vet tenants, and have qualified property management in place. So if you're looking to have freedom and live your life on your own terms, grab your phone and text the word future to 484848. Get started today. Text the word future to 484848. Secure your future now.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, number one, really important, is that how many of you work a job or a business? All right. How many of you are home full-time and do not have a business or a job? Okay, awesome. Quite a few of you, like 50 of you. Okay, so for those of you that are full-time parents, your home is your business. It is your, did you hear me? It's your company. Don't even treat it like a job, unless, of course, having a company scares the snot out of you. For those of you that it scares the snot out of you, like it did me 30 years ago, what I did is I pretended like I had been hired by a strategist company. I didn't look at my business as it was mine because that was too scary for me, but I looked at it as though I had been hired by a company and I had a really good position in the company. Rather than being at the entry level, I was at the higher level, and therefore I needed to step into my role, needed to step into my office, and I needed to own it, and I was performing for a boss. That's how I treated it, because I was terrified to be in business for myself. I had all those stupid fears and those beliefs about myself that I couldn't make it, but that I had a nice job. The job I always wanted actually was in human resources. I had been denied so many jobs. I was not good enough to get hired by Macy's. I wasn't even good enough, like to work in the clothing store, Macy's. I wasn't even good enough to work at Gottschalk's. Now, how many of you have never heard of Gottschalk's? Wow. Okay, so let me tell you what Gottschalk's is. Gottschalk's is a little nicer than Target, only in small little towns. Okay, it's their almost kind of version wannabe like Macy's, but it's not Macy's. It might be just one skosh nicer than JCPenney's. I was not qualified to work at Gottschalk's. So when I was 19 and I'm looking for jobs and I'm hoping to get on at Gottschalk's and I'm putting my best clothes on and my bright pink lipstick with my unibrow and I'm showing up, right? And I was like, denied. I was denied at Macy's. I was denied at Gottschalk's. I was not good enough to work anywhere that had any kind of class, but JCPenney's took me on. So when I started in my business, I pretended like I was working at Macy's. And I pretended I was in human resources because I wanted a stamp that said denied or accepted. Because people across the desk determined whether or not I made money, right? And so I'm like, fine, I wasn't good enough to work for you? Awesome. I can't wait for me to interview you. Denied. Wasn't the greatest attitude, but it really helped me build a business. It really did. It really did. It caused me not to beg people to buy my product. It caused me to not beg people to join my sales force. That's what it did. So I had an attitude of, this is my job, is to pick and choose who I'm going to work with, and I'm looking for talent, okay? So we're talking about increasing your value. Here's a few things that you want to understand to increase your value. Number one, money doesn't come from trees. Really? But if this is your first time here, I want you to answer this question. Where does money come from? Someone says hard work. Okay. Where does it come from? She says it comes from God, but who does he give it to? People. Money comes from people. Okay? Money comes, let's say, through people. Okay? So if money comes from people, and you are a poor communicator with other people, what happens with your money? You do not make as much because why? Because you can't communicate with people properly. And that's communication on social media. That's communication at your job. That is communication in multiple different ways. Let's talk about this. How do we communicate? Okay, we communicate verbally and non-verbally. In fact, 93% of all communication is non-verbal. Non-verbal. Now, there's lots of different ways that we communicate, okay? Especially from the non-verbal portion. But there's other ways that we communicate at work. What are different forms of communication that we do at work? And I want to ask the new people to engage with me. Okay, how do you communicate at work? Yes, okay, that's one. What else? Face-to-face conversations, yes. Keep going. Body language. Tonality. The kind of energy you put out. The actions you take. Again, I want the newbies. Say again. Eye contact. Say again. What does that mean? Jargon, your technical language? So the terminology that you use. Okay, what else? Say again. Posture, yes. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. Diligence. Diligent hands produce wealth. Diligent hands produce wealth. Say again. Results. Ding, 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 ding. He who is diligent will be wealthy. You know if you're diligent based on your results. The only thing in the marketplace that determines your success is your results. And only 2% goes for results. 98%ers have been conditioned to work for hours. 2% of the population works for results. They produce the results. There's two different economies in the marketplace. One is a results economy. The other is a hourly economy. So how many of you are employed full-time by someone else? Okay, look around the room. It's a lot of people employed by somebody else. I'm going to tell you something It is very important. There's been a message that has been out for about 30 years that says, you're never going to get rich in a job. Another message that says you should try to fire your boss one day, be your own boss. And I'm going to tell you that that is propaganda. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, most business owners are not rich either. And all they've done is hired themselves a job with a whole lot more responsibility, and I mean a whole lot more responsibility, a whole lot more liability, and a massive increase of stress and pressure, okay? So they've not just hired themselves a job, they've hired themselves maybe 2 and 3 jobs. Number two, most people who own a business don't get rich. And it has nothing to do with how much money they make. Getting rich has nothing to do with how much money you make. I'm going to say it again. Getting rich has nothing to do with how much money you make. But there is an industry that has sold you the way to riches is by how much you make. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. How do I know? I've lived it. I've also studied other successful people. It's not by how much you make, it's by what? How much you keep and how much you invest. It's creating the orchard, which you are going to learn in 4 weeks from this weekend in Orlando, Florida. Okay? 4 weeks from this weekend in Orlando, Florida, you have the opportunity to learn the beginning steps of creating wealth beyond the foundation that I'm giving you right here. So this is a switch in your brain. Do you understand? You've been told your whole life, the more money you make, then that's going to make you wealthy. I'm here to tell you no. I'm here to tell you that your income is only cash flow. That's it. And what you're supposed to do with your income is you're supposed to split that up, part of it towards charity. Because again, last night, how many of us learned about this about ourselves? That we're often in the season of getting, wanting to get, wanting to receive. But those are the people who are always in need. Did you hear what I said? The ones who are always looking to get are the ones who are always in need. The ones who are the givers are the ones who receive plenty. Okay, so you have to switch position that you've been in. And how many of you have been in the get, more department for far too long? Okay, far too long. So to switch in your brain, you're going to have to retrain your brain to be a giver, right? So the first thing is charity. It's one of the ways to kill greed in you, is charity. And go deep into it. Go real deep into it. Don't just write a check like you're paying a bill. You're not going to last very long doing that. Get on the ground in Nicaragua. Get on the ground in your city feeding the homeless. Get on the ground in the women's shelters in your city. Do you understand? And then I want you to tell me you're doing it. I want you to tell me you're doing it. And if you find an organization that's worthy, that needs more money, call me. I'd love to write a check. Anyway, so charity being number one. Number two, that other 10% towards what? Investments. Right? So this is that other 10% that you're going to start using as seed for what? To make investments. That's money you might lose, and it's money you might multiply. Okay? You're not gonna, every investment you make is not gonna turn out. Did you write that down? I know you don't want to hear that, but don't be stupid. Every investment you make is not going to turn out. Your job is to find out which ones will turn out. How will you know which ones turn out? Thank you. Based on the results. That's the only way you know is based on the results. Okay, and how and why? Listen to me. I got this revelation. It was really powerful a few days ago, and I was reading through some of your questions. And some of the questions are, Dani, can you tell me how to do this? Or Dani, I'm starting a business in this. What do you think? And I realized, wow, you want me to tell you what to do, so you have someone to blame when it doesn't work. That's why we always look to get advice from all the wrong people and some of the right people, and what do? But she said, so you put all your hope in my word. You put your hope in my word, my flippant answer, my pissant opinion, and you try to build a life on it. I'm not your God. I'm not your God. I will never be your God. I will fail you if you make me your God. I promise you. You make me your friend, I will be like the rest of your friends. Fail you. Fail you. But I am not your God. You have a God. It ain't me. And you should say, thank God she's not my God. Because I promise you, I'm a lot harsher than your God. I am. I'm a lot harsher. I am not polished. I am not perfect. And I don't love all the time unconditionally. Nope. I do not have the patience of God. I'm working towards it, but I'm not there yet. Sometimes I will tell you, I just want to smack the crap out of you. I'm serious. Sometimes I just want to take a bat and just go, really? How many times are we going to talk about this, okay? All right, so the point is that quit looking for an answer so that you have someone to blame when it doesn't work. You have to take personal responsibility for your learning. No one else can take responsibility for your learning. You're going to learn through trial and error, and you're going to pay to learn from other people's trial and error. Bottom line. So set aside an account for learning. You might even, let me tell you this, some of you are motivated by charity. You can't build a business for yourself to save your life. You find no purpose in the job that you're doing. If you set aside a certain portion of your job or certain portion for your business for charity, for those of you who are motivated that, like me, I know what motivates me. Not making money doesn't motivate me, but taking care of the poor is the only thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. That's the only thing that gets me out of bed. Is the cry of the poor. Those children with filthy hair and lice. Those people in so much pain and so much suffering. The stench, the flies that are everywhere. No shelter, no food. Digging out of a trash, trying to feed their family. I hear their cry. I see their faces. I have no right to sleep in till 11. I have no right to sit on a beach sucking on a Mai Tai. I have no right to just go spend 25 grand a month shopping for more new clothes that don't satisfy me. I have no freaking right to take the talent and skill that I've developed all of these years that my God has given me the chance to develop and use it for nothing but myself. I have no right to live like that. This is a gift. The gift is not for me. The gift is for them. Bottom line. So I know what motivates me. So for me, that's why 100% of the profits goes to the poor. That's why I don't take the salary. Do you understand? Because that's what motivates me. So this whole business is set up to give. That's it. This business right here, DaniJohnson.com, was started to give. To give into you, your family's training and development that I teach my children, that I could just be teaching my children. I don't have to come and teach you anything. And for some of you, I shouldn't. Some of you are jerks. Judgmental, self-righteous, egotistical, arrogant. Psh, why do I want to spend a weekend with you? Because there's some nice people around you. Anyway, but seriously, come on. Where's Rockefeller? Is he holding seminars teaching you what he's taught his children? No. Come on, think about it. Think how many people that are wealthy out there that are not spending a weekend with your bud. And rightfully so, correct? Rightfully so. They shouldn't be. They don't need to be. They got better things to do with their time, right? But this is a win-win. You need the help and the poor needs the money, huh? It's a good match. It's a good match.
Do you have a closet full of clothes yet say, I have nothing to wear? Are you a mom doing her best but desperately lacking me time? Or maybe your schedule has you dressing practically instead of powerfully. What if I told you there's a system, a blueprint that can save you time, money, and turn every head in the room, as well as impact the world through fashion? Friend, you're in the fashion business whether you like it or not. You're an ambassador representing your faith, your marriage, family, and business. Style is just a skill made easy with 123 Style Me. 10 steps to style success that will expand your leadership, save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. This program will bring you peace of mind, reignite your marriage, make you more productive, respected, and instantly boost your confidence, equipping you to be bold and beautiful. Go to courses.live courses.lindapage.com. Again, that is courses.linda, LINDAPAIGE.com, and make a priceless investment in yourself. Are you confident that you're always getting a good deal? Have you been equipped with the negotiation confidence, strategies, tactics, and supporting tools you need to close world-class deals? Finally, JPA is making the exact same specialized negotiation training and secrets used by the world's largest, most successful corporations available to everyone. Proven in more than 60 countries and used by brands like Adidas, Vodafone, Pfizer, Nokia, and others, the JPA negotiation method will set you up to save money and time while significantly increasing your profits. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling real estate, closing contracts with suppliers, or selling products and services to individuals or organizations. Using their simple step-by-step negotiation preparation checklist, you'll be ready to confidently slug it out toe-to-toe with the toughest professional negotiators. It's time for you to stop leaving money and opportunity on the table. Go to bizneg.com/events to register now. Again, that's bizneg.com/events. Get registered today.
Prior to getting started with DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, we were spending absolutely every dime that we made. We were really struggling financially. Since plugging in to First Steps to Success just 4 months ago, we started a brand new business that is doing very, very well. We've paid off $4,500 in debt, but the most important thing is my relationship with my husband has improved like dramatically. I mean, we have so much more fun together. You know, I don't know about you, maybe your finances, you're doing great, maybe you're debt-free, maybe your relationships with your spouse, with your family are great. But if not, if you have some areas in your life that feel a little out of control or there's things that you need to work on, I highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success as soon as you can.
Prior to being dragged out to First Steps to Success, I was hopeless. I had no point to life. It was a day-to-day existence, working a job I despised for people I didn't respect. Deeper and deeper debt every year. You just couldn't get on top of it. I just had no hopes or dreams, none at all, and there was no point to life. But since coming out, we paid off $280,000 worth of debt, married the woman of my dreams. I came to love my job and the people I work for. I have all kinds of hopes and dreams. I get to watch them happen every day. I don't know what your life is like, you know. There's probably tons of hope. You probably know why you live and you got places you're going, but if you don't, you need to sign up for First Steps to Success. You go to DaniJohnson.com and you click on it and be here, because your life will not be the same if you do.
Prior to First Steps to Success, I was drowning in debt, I was terrified of my bills, and I wanted to travel, but I never had the money. And since coming to First Steps to Success, in the last 14 months, I've paid off over $18,000 in debt. I've gone on 6 vacations, and I'm not terrified of my bills anymore. So if you want to learn some proven strategies to really learn how to connect with people, take your life to the next level, all while having a total blast, you need to get registered for the next First Steps to Success today.
Prior to coming to First Step to Success, we were totally struggling, totally under the weight of $640,000 worth of debt, making $20,000 a month, but living paycheck to paycheck. So when we came here and I realized that it takes a totally different skill set to keep money, to create wealth than it is to make money, I have totally turned around our lifestyle. We have paid off $640,000 worth of debt in 2 years. We are debt-free as of June of 2013. I don't know where you're at. You might have all your finances in order. You might have a wonderful life. Your marriage might be all perfect and your kids are behaving. But if not, if one of those things is lacking, you've got to get here. Book your next event. You need to be here. You will not regret it.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Diligent hands produce wealth. Okay? How do you communicate at work? New people? Huh? Yeah, we already said a smile. Does that increase or decrease your value? Increases your value, right? Why? Because you're working with who? People. Whatever it is, if you work with people, people are who pay you for you to be there. People pay you to be there. You are representing the brand of a business. So for those of you that work full-time for someone else, those of you that your full-time business or job is in the home, all of this applies to you. Because if you do not increase your value in the home, you are what to yourself? Devaluing yourself. Okay? So increasing your value is a learned skill. It is not a natural thing. The natural tendency for us is to get lazier and lazier as the years go by. That's a natural tendency of 98% of the population. How many of you have noticed this about yourself? Okay, and the lazier you get, how do you feel? You feel worse, you feel crappy, you feel lazy, right? You have less energy, right? Which is why I started working out 2 years ago, is because I noticed I was getting more and more tired all the time. I was needing more and more sleep all the time. My head was less and less clear all the time. So I'm like, this sucks. I know what path I'm on. I'm on the path to one big fat dimple from my neck to my freaking ankles. And sleeping all the time. Like, I got too many dimples already, please. I don't want to add any more. Anyway, so that's why I started working out. And I noticed that when I started doing physical activity, I had more energy, I was more motivated, and I was instantly starting to think clear. So that was a shock again from a fitness atheist. Fitness atheist advocate. Okay, I was an advocate against fitness. And I did not believe in it. It is not the case anymore. I believe in it big time now. In fact, I do email from my bike. I do email. I did prospecting and closing class from my bike. People were calling. I was really low, super low, so I didn't think I was breathing heavy. It was just like super low, because I don't want to sit on my butt and do this, right? And I think more clear when I'm on this thing, and I do my coaching appointments from the bike. And so I was doing the coaching, the prospecting and closing class from the bike, and several people calling, like, is Dani okay? Is she all right? I mean, she sounds a little funny. I'm like, oh, I should have told you guys I'm on my bike. It's better for you, I promise. So as soon as I started digging in on a client, I'm like, because that's my passion's going, and I'm pedaling faster. So I guess I was breathing a little heavy on the phone. It was terrible. Thanks, Mona, for your encouragement. I appreciate that. Laughing at me. Anyway, so awesome. Say what? You were in that class? Yeah, I was pedaling just to keep my body moving, because it's oxygen to the brain, right? It's oxygen to the brain, and you need me to have oxygen in my brain while I'm trying to solve your crappy prospecting skills. You need me to do this, I promise you. So I don't just, anyway, go, okay. Okay, anyway, so communication, okay? Because nonverbal communication determines your value in the marketplace. Your marketplace is in the home, and it's also at work. So some of you who here works outside of the home, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. And how many of you work inside the home? Keep your freaking hands up. You all have a home. What, do you live in a cave? So what I'm telling you is that you are not immune to what I'm saying when I'm talking to the full-time home people. You have home too. What's your first string? Home. First string is home. So everything I'm talking about first must be applied where? Home. Has to be applied at home first. Why? Otherwise, you're a manipulator. Because if you treat your staff better than you treat your family, you're a manipulator. You're nothing but a freaking poser. If you treat the people on Sunday or Saturday, wherever it is that you go to church, you treat those people better with more kindness, with more respect, praise the Lord. You're nothing but a poser. You're nothing but a faker. You're nothing but a manipulator. So the first place that we're supposed to have the most honor, the most respect, the most patience, the first place that we're supposed to be smiling The place we're supposed to be encouraging is where? Home. You do it at home, it will come natural at work. And now you are a person of integrity. Did you hear me? Now you're a person of faithfulness. You can't be more merciful to your staff than you are to your family. You can't be more understanding to your staff than you are to your family. You can't be more diligent at work than you are with making your frickin' bed. Hallelujah. Do you understand? If your house is a disaster, it's a reflection of your work life. Diligent hands produce wealth. And the diligence starts in the home. You cannot use leadership skills better in your office or at work than you do at home. You're a poser, a liar, a manipulator, if that's what you do. That is a hypocrite. Do you hear me? That's a hypocrite. No hypocrites allowed. And why is it more important for the home? Who's in your home? That first team and the next generation. The next generation of leaders of your nation are in your home. The next generation of your legacy is in your home, and they are watching you. They are watching you. They're watching you. They're watching you. They're watching you. So if you're not smiling, what are you communicating to the home? Business partners, future legacy builders, your employees, your children in your home. You're not smiling. What is that communicating? Well, let's just talk about it. Can you tell me what a non-smile, just straight, no smile communicates? In fact, first row, stand up, turn around, and face the people behind you. Smile. Everybody in the room, smile. Come on, show your grill. Everybody, show the grill. I want to see the grill. Even if you don't have some, come on, even if you're missing teeth, I want to see the grill. Come on, everybody. Okay? All right, smiling. Okay? Ready? Frown. Let's just do this. Put the airport face on. Give me the annoyed airport face. Give me the I'm on the phone with a customer service rep that just told me no 3 times. That's good, Danielle. That's so good. Everybody, come on. Give it to me. Tap your finger, it helps. What does this communicate? Negative. What else? Unhappy. Disapproval. Annoyed. Not important. Apathy, irritated. Judgment. Intimidation, which is, by the way, a spirit, an evil spirit. You don't care. I don't care. What else? Disappointment. Say again. Constipation for sure. Hi, brother. So good to see you. So listen up. Judgment. This is what you're communicating to the next generation. This is what you're communicating in your job. And some of you are not even self-aware. This is how you walk into work. This is how you come into the house when you come home. This is how you wake up in the morning. When your spouse looks over at you, they see that. If you are not continuously increasing your value, what is happening to your value? It is decreasing. Every day, your value is decreasing. Increasing your value is your job. Your heart and your attitude and your work is your job. And if you are not just smiling, anybody can do that. Does not take a rocket scientist to figure out. If you're not smiling, you're sucking the oxygen right out of the room. And you literally are planting fear, intimidation, hopelessness, despair, planting depression, causing people to question whether or not they have any value. Literally, a non-smile causes somebody, especially somebody with wounds from their past where they were abandoned or they were rejected. They've got wounds, and when they see someone that is not smiling right away, in fact, you just tell me, what do you think when someone will not smile at you? They don't, she just said it, they don't like me. This one over here says they're better than me, or they think they're better than me. So either you're going to be judged, hey Ken, they're going to be, I was thinking about you last night. We were in Israel together. We had lots of meals together. He roomed with my son. Anyway, hi Ken. Ken means yes in Hebrew. What a great name. Yes. Hi, yes. It's good to meet you, yes. Anyway, a smile says no. A frown says no. Sorry. A frown says no. A frown says not interested. A frown says you're not good enough. You're sucking up my oxygen. I wish you weren't here. And you do this to your spouse. You do this to your spouse when you're texting them. You do this to your spouse when you wake up in the morning. You do this to your spouse when they walk in the door. You do this to your spouse. You do this to your kids. And who's in charge of your smile? Me. Who's in charge of your smile? Me. BS. BS. I'll tell you who you think is in charge of your smile. You think everybody else is in charge of your smile. You think your circumstances are in charge of your smile. You think the new blouse is in charge of your smile. You think your new purse is in charge of your smile. You think getting a raise is in charge of your smile. You think making more money is in charge of your smile. You think Disneyland is in charge of your smile. All of that is a bunch of bunk. And that's how 98% thinks. 98% expects their circumstances to provoke a smile in them. 98% wants to be manipulated to smile. Yeah. 2% puts it on. It's called game face, man. It's a strategy. It gives life. Come on, smile. Look at everybody smiling. Come on, smile. Now I want you to tell me what this communicates. Love. She says love. Come on, what does this communicate? Respect. Did you hear what she just said? This communicates respect. Ladies, let me tell you what a man wants more than anything, even more than sex. Respect. He was wired to be respected. And a frown or a non-smile is total disrespect to him. When his wife doesn't smile, it says, I'm a failure. When his wife isn't smiling, it says, I'm a failure. It says, I'm failing. I suck as a husband. I can't figure this out. I'm not good enough. It must be because I don't make enough money. It must be that I'm not good looking to her anymore. It must be because I did something wrong. Instantly, he thinks he's in trouble. What a prison us women have created in a home. What a freaking prison. He also knows he ain't getting laid. So right there, it's like I might as well just go play some video games. Or I might get on the internet and look at some porn. Because at least she's smiling at me. Men, you can say amen. You can slip a couple bucks in my pocket. I'll give it to the poor later. Because I'm currently your pole dancer. Seriously, just a smile. Just a smile, just a smile, just a smile. Guess what it says to your kids when you smile at your kids? Come on, smile, smile, come on. I value you. Wow, what would happen to your husband if he felt like you valued him? I will tell you right now, he will make more money than you could ever imagine in your life. He would take risks, he would succeed, he would be innovative, he'd be everything that you married him to be. You stopped smiling, you created the prison. Tear down the prison, go home and smile big and give him a nice roll in the hay. And by the way, that's biblical. Very biblical. It's actually exercise in the Bible. Okay, so smiling, he is your gym. Okay, so, but I don't feel like it. Shut up and smile, wench. You control the house. Okay, increase your value by smiling. Increase your value by giving encouragement. Both of you, everybody in the household, teach your children to smile. The reason why you feel so crappy is simply because you haven't shown your teeth. I'm not kidding you. They have proven that a smile releases endorphins in your brain. The same exact thing that happens when you work out. The same high that people get when they work out is the same high that you get from smiling. You actually burn more calories from smiling than frowning. No joke. This is all scientifically proven. You'll have more sex, you'll lose weight, you'll get a raise, your spouse will get a raise. Why? Because everybody wants happiness. And you know what? Money compared to happiness, give me the happiness instead of the money. Give me the happiness instead of the money. And happiness is a free choice. So when people get happy, they make more money. Did you hear me? When people get happy, they make more money. What comes first? Happiness. And happiness is a choice. So here's one key to your happiness. Show your grow. I didn't see it, dude. I know it's in there. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You think I'm talking to your wife? I'm talking to you. No, I'm talking to you. You. No, you. Okay? All right. So we're back to work. We're talking about increasing value. And by the way, when I say work, that is for you business owners. That's your work. Employees, some of you have a business and you work full-time for someone else. Who here does that? You have a business and you work full-time. Okay, guess what? Your first responsibility to practice all of these skills is where? At home. Your second responsibility is where? Your full-time job, not just your part-time business. Your full-time job. Your full-time job is the higher priority over the business. Why? That person's paying for your bills, paying your mortgage for you. Do you hear me? That person is helping to put food on the table. Not your part-time business yet. And if you mistreat the people you work with in your day job, and then all of a sudden become the highly motivated and encouraging person at night to try to recruit people, that makes you a manipulator. That makes you a hypocrite. You will reap what you sow. You will reap what you sow. So you will recruit a bunch of posers who are not committed. She just went, oh my gosh, that's all I have in my Salesforce. Ding, ding, ding. You recruit who you are.